Jalen Brunson's seven 40-point games are tied with Bernard King for the most in Knicks playoff history. So one more, and he is number one in Knicks history as he continues to add to his all-time Knicks resume. Jalen Brunson is the first player in Knicks history to score 40-plus points in multiple series-clinching wins. He had 41 points and 12 assists in Philadelphia to eliminate the 76ers. He had 40.7 assists tonight in Detroit. And that makes him the only NBA player to have 40 points and 5+ assists in a road closeout win twice in his career is Michael Jordan. And then we have, prior to tonight, the Knicks were listen to this, CP. Prior to tonight, the Knicks were 0-47 when trailing by at least 7 points with 2 minutes and 30 seconds or less remaining in the fourth quarter or overtime in the playoffs since 1996.
Wow.
And obviously we saw that tonight. And then lastly, Brunson's go-ahead 3-point field goal with 5 seconds or less remaining to clinch a playoff series was Brunson, obviously, tonight. And only 3 other players have done it. Dame Lillard did it twice, once in 2019 versus OKC, 2014 versus the Rockets. Robert Horry, 2002 at Portland. We know about that shot. And then John Stockton in 1997. Only 4 players to have a go-ahead 3-point field goal with 5 seconds or less. So you talk about nuggets as he continues to add to his all-time resume as a New York Knick. That's crazy, bro.
You can't take it for granted, man. You can't take it for granted. His will to win, the clutch factor. I mean, this is the fourth quarter of Game 6. After how many games in the series did he go back into the locker room? He gave him a break, gave him a chance to come back in the game, then come back and goes crazy again. Right? Tweaks the ankle and the divot in the floor in Game 5. That's why this morning JD was like, "Yo, are you worried about Cap?" What'd I say? I said, "Cap is a warrior. He's ready. He's ready. Don't worry about all of that. We've seen this last year. We've seen this year before. He's never healthy going into the playoffs and still dominates. Those are superstars can do that. When you're able to overcome the mental, the physical anguish of going through an 82-game season and still doing this at the highest level in the fourth quarter, it's unbelievable. It's remarkable. You know, the chants by the crowd, they don't care. You don't care about none of that, bro. You cannot shake him. You cannot speed him up. He does what he does. Go ahead.
CP, I know, and I said, you just mentioned that. I made that point earlier that, and then I don't know if you can remember because I don't. This is the first time that Brunson, as a superstar of a New York Knicks, you as a fan, we always do that to the opposing player coming to the Garden, the Trae Youngs, the Paul Pierce, like all these other guys that come to the Garden, they're hated by the fans. This is the first time that I've seen Brunson catch this type of smoke from an opposing fan base where they're cursing at him, they're getting personal, they're putting billboards, they're calling him overrated, they're calling him bleeping flopper, they're doing all these things. And I think as a Knick, this is the first time he's had to face that type of animosity, hostile environment, because he's one of those kind of silent killers where he gets the respect, but other opposing fans really don't go at him like the Piston fan base did. And as a Knicks fan, it was so satisfying to see how he responded to all of that.
Do you think it's from? What do you think it's from? Windhorst calling him, mastering the dark arts of getting to the free throw line? Do you think it's just the play from the game, his actual play, or that as he levels up, he just naturally draws, hate? Like just fans just hating who he is as a player. You know what I mean? Like, because we've seen that. Like even for guys like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, there are always going to be people who don't like you for who you are Is he getting to that category of superstar now, or is it just because of his game?
Nah, he's getting to that level because
I'm so glad you said that because I thought he was going to
he's
fall for the bait.
nah,
Yes.
he's
I
just
agree.
getting to that level. It's no longer the underdog story. You know, he's no longer, oh man, this is like what a revelation. He's no longer a revelation, right? And so it's again, it's interesting the evolution. He became the revelation in Dallas in that playoff series when they had no Luka. The first 2 games, it's him versus the Spider, and he's killing them. He's going, and this is when the rumors were like, "Oh, this might be interested." And I'm thinking, like, all right, you know, he could be a nice little, you know, Robin to Julius. You know what I'm saying? He could be a nice little caretaker. We need a point guard. All right, fine. But then he gets on there, no Luka, and you're like, whoa, 40 points, 30 points. You know, and this is against when Utah had Gobert and their defense was highly touted, and Royce O'Neal and everybody, and he's killing them.
Keep in mind, that's also when Utah, I think, was number 1 too, right? In
Number
the
1
West.
defense. Yeah, number 1. And he's destroying these cats. I'm like, okay, this could get very interesting. And then, you know, first year, boom, no Julius. He goes against Cleveland. He's killing them. Last year, Philly, 30 points, 40 points, boom, boom, boom. 46 in game 4 against Philly. And now it's to the point where it's just like, bro, like, this is our guy. You're expecting this now, level of greatness. And for us, it's fantastic. For the opposing fans, it's a nightmare. And that's why he's getting the hate. Hey, if you don't got haters, you're not doing something right. Starting point guard of the East. Don't forget that, man. All NBA. He's about to have another All NBA clutch player of the year. And again, his pops will tell you he didn't even see this. Nobody saw this. Nobody. Unbelievable, bro. And again, we see from last year to now, when he has bad games, I got to do better. I got to move the ball. I got to do this. He does it. Now tonight he didn't move. He moved the ball fairly well. In crunch time, he got a little stickier points. I was tight. I'm like, yo, Cat, move the ball. I was tight. However, scoring wise, he never has a bad game twice.
And my apologies, Jazz were what was it? 5th that season. They were 5th. Dallas was 4th. So it was a nice 4-5 battle between them in the standings.
But I felt like that wasn't their defense like number 1. Their
defense was top. Their defense was top because Rudy Gobert was like
very good.
Yeah.
So you're just talking the seeding out.
Yeah, I was just talking seeding. Yeah, I was talking seeding.
All right.
Yeah. No, it's no longer, and he's here, man. He's here.
Well, yeah, because now, as you mentioned, he's been building that profile. And remember how the conversation has shifted. It's you know, is he an all-star player? Then is he a star? And then it's like, you know, after last year, what does he have to do to keep it to this level? And now it gets to a point where, from a national media standpoint, this is where you enter their field of narratives, their field of hot topics and hot debates. And like, you know, what's the hot thing about this player and Trae Young? And like, this is where you enter that conversation. And so they know that it triggers conversation, it triggers traffic, it triggers debate. Look how it triggered the Pistons fan base and it got them involved. And then now I'm pretty sure the Boston fan base is just going to piggyback off this energy.
It's already started. It's been before this.
Because this is what I'm saying. So now he's going to have to battle this new narrative about him, but it's also because he's entered that club of, you know, when you face this guy, this is what you got to do. When you face that guy, that's how you got to defend him. Like, he's entered this now. I mean, you're talking about a guy that could. The other impressive thing to me is he doesn't really do this against another guy his size. It's like a lightweight knocking out heavyweight champions. This guy is 6'1", and he doesn't see 6'1" defenders or 6'2", or he doesn't see the point guard defend. This guy, he goes up against 6'7" wings.
Yeah, that's a new NBA, right? For the most part, that's a new NBA,
and that's all he sees. And he still cooks them.